Lord have mercy. What's up, YouTube? How are y'all doing out there today? I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. Well, we have a full show today. We're going to be getting into Nicki Minaj. We're going to be talking about YFN Lucci. We're also going to be talking about Roland Ray and also Wendy Williams. Okay. So let us first get into none other. Let me first of all say thank you and welcome to the show. Make sure you thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. We're going to talk about Nicki Minaj. Everybody know who Nicki Minaj is, the incredible rap icon. She's gotten sued, and now they settled the case with Tracy Chapman, is a singer that Nicki Minaj stole or copyrighted a song that she stole some lyrics or the beat of "Baby Can I Hold You" that was released in 1988. Now, mind you, this song, the song "Sorry," was leaked and it was played on Flex, the DJ on Hot 97, and that wasn't even out. Funkmaster Flex played the song, but the song wasn't officially released. It was leaked, but Master Flex played it on his radio station. She was sued. So they settled the case for about $450,000. So that is $450,000 that Nicki Minaj had to pay. I count it as a loss. I counted like, hey, she lost this moment. They came to agreement, $450,000. That is how much she had to pay. And I count it as a loss. Now, some people say, hey, it's not a loss. They came to an agreement. I'm like, anytime you have to pay over $400,000, you lost. Okay. Anytime that you have to go in your bank account and write a big check for all that money, you lost. Okay. Now this could have went to trial. They did not want it to go to trial. Nicki tried to claim that the song was under the Fair Use Act, that she could use the fair under without her permission, and then they said that Nicki Minaj asked for to use it and it was denied. So she had argued that the creation of Sorry, even without the license from Chapman, was protected by the doctrine of fair use. But of course, that wasn't the case. She came to agreement and she had to pay Tracy $450,000. That is, my friend, a lot of money to pay. That's, you got to be very cautious on using people music because they will come after you for copyright. Even the same thing that happened with Marvin Gaye. Okay, I think, who was that stole Marvin Gaye's song? I think it was I can't think of the artist. Robin Thicke. They had a record out, and Marvin Gaye estate sued. So you got to be very cautious because you will get sued if you're using other people's money. I mean, other people's sound, other people's beats, other people's instrumentals. You cannot do it. It will not last. All right. You want to be very cautious with that. Now, we're gonna get it. I just want to be on. I just hope, Wiley, you could be a news, be a news reporter. Okay. I'm just being real with you. You can't do it. Okay. Now, yesterday we talked about this. YFN Lucci, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He was arrested because he had got arrested for murder, because they're saying that he murdered somebody and he got arrested. It was a warrant out for his arrest, and now they had caught him and he was arrested. Now, I'm going to say this. Why in the world that these rappers want to go out here and want to kill folks? Just rap. Be an artist. Don't try to be out here in these streets and up here try to gang bang when you're going to get caught. Don't do it. It is too much. It is too much to be as an artist. You have a responsibility to create art, not be out here in these streets creating violence. So do I think that what happened to him is wrong? No, because they have a lot of evidence. It's a lot of people. The authorities said they got a big case. It's a strong case. So he did it. So he gonna have to pay the consequences. Now, if you want to be out here and do that, you're gonna get caught. And that's just the truth. And I'm not trying to be shady, but if you want to be out here being a thug, joining a gang, and you do something like that, they're gonna catch you and you're gonna be arrested. Now, don't get me wrong, YFN is an incredible artist, but you can't be out here killing people. Now, I don't think he's going to win this. I really think he's going to lose this. And all because you want to be out here and be a thug, living up to this thug culture, living up to this thug identity. Instead of you saying, okay, I was a thug, but I'm going to leave that lifestyle alone because I'm an artist. I was a thug, but now I'm going to just move on because now I'm an incredible artist and I'm out here making music. I was a thug. I was in the streets, but now I've been signed to a label and now I'm up here doing something that's going to reach millions of people and bring money into my household. But no, you want to go out there and still want to be a gangbanger. You want to go out there and still have your pants hanging out. You want to go out there and still want to kill people. That's going to mess you up. That's what you have to understand. When God bless you with a talent and he bless you with an identity, he bless you with a gift, use that for good. Don't be trying to do this and then in the dark you up there want to kill somebody because guess what? You're going to get caught. It is many police agencies that have organizations that in their police department have departments just to look out for hip-hop artists. Okay, it's been documentaries about it. Even Nas, I saw a documentary with him in it. He was talking about how they have what they call hip-hop police. So don't be out here trying to be a gangbanger when it's police officers out there looking. Don't be trying to do all that because they watching. They are watching you. You won't get away with it. You just won't. You ain't gonna get away when you out here want to do gun culture and you want to be a thug. They're gonna catch up with you. They're going to see it. They're writing it down. You got wiretaps. There's so much that's going to go on. It's going to catch up with you. So be very cautious. Just don't do it. And then the people you hang around, you have to stop hanging around people that is doing it. If you're a person that's no longer in a gang, all that, don't have people that's in a gang in your crew. If you have people that's in there selling drugs and you don't sell drugs, don't have them people in your crew. I was reading 50 Cent book that he wrote, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter. And he said, if you were acting up, he will send you back home because that's damage to the artist. So it's sad to see this young rapper yet again getting arrested, going through all this stuff. It is so sad. But all he had to do was focus on the music. That's what you have to do. Now, we're going to get into this second one. Focus on the music. Don't be trying to focus on these streets. Focus on the music, baby. Let me see if I can pull this up because I'm going to just be honest with you. You don't be doing all that because you're going to get caught. Give me a second. I'm going to pull this up. Now, in this second video, the second or third topic that we're going to get into, moving around quickly. All the producers want me to talk about it, so let me see if I can pull it up so we can talk about it. Shout out to everybody. Make sure y'all thumbs up this video. Make sure y'all thumbs up. Make sure y'all subscribe to the show and have a good time. Make sure you all do that. Okay. Right. I'm looking for it right now. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna get into Roland Ray. Now, Roland Ray was hospitalized yesterday because apparently his lace front wig caught on fire. Okay? Caught on fire. So everybody was talking about it all over social media. They were talking about it and they were making fun of him because he caught on fire. And Young Miami said this on her Twitter account. Let me see if I could pull up her tweet. This is crazy. That's what you got to be very careful. Spraying hairspray. Be very careful with all that grease. You got to be very careful. You know, he probably had a shortness in his wheelchair. But she put on there, always thankful. God don't play about me. And she put a heart emoji. See, this is the thing. You talk all that mess, things ain't going right. You rolling up, probably was a short shaker. He probably tried to plug up his wheelchair and it probably shocked him. And then this wig caught on fire. He already can't even talk that good. Probably did that. Probably was drooling all over the cords, and it just shocked him all over, and the fire all over his head. That's why it's not good to be talking about folks talking about the dead, because he could have died with all that fire stuff. See, it's about the people that God don't play when you want to be that ugly in a wheelchair. That does not give you an excuse because you're in a wheelchair. You can just talk about anybody. That does not give you an excuse to be mean and nasty. Just because you disabled does not give you an excuse to always run your mouth and be in mess. Does not give you an excuse. It does not give you an excuse to do that. It doesn't. It does not give you an excuse to be doing all this stuff, talking all that mess, and then your hair catch on fire. First of all, it's not even good you be spraying all that purr all in your head. Then you in the hospital. Then you go live and all that because your head is on fire because you're creating too much mess. There's no telling. Do you have probably got a short shaker probably because of that wheelchair? I don't know. Now, I think he's good. I think he's doing okay. Many people was having a conversation about it on their pages. I said I was going to talk about it and all that, and it just caught on fire. You got to be careful. You got to be careful plugging up stuff with your hands greasy. You can't be running around in fire and then plugging up chairs and you getting all that grease on your chairs. You can get caught up in that big box. You know, no wheelchair's got one of the motor boxes in there. It could have got caught up in there. Could have just started a whole fire. So, of course, Young Miami was going to say something because she was tired of him talking about it, because he said that, oh, yeah, I'm going to dig your from the grave. It's his fault. Pretty much we're just talking. And then when you get caught up in mess, you want sympathy. Okay? I'm not going to have sympathy. I laughed. I did. I'm not going to tell. When I heard that, I was kiki. I was like, yes. I was laughing. I really was. But I'm glad he's okay. From the last time I heard about it, that he's doing fine. I don't think he's still in the hospital. That has not been confirmed to me, but I do know that he was hospitalized because of fire on his wigs or his lace front, his hair. You gotta be very cautious playing with yourself. Okay. No telling what kind. It could have been synthetic. It's no telling what kind of hair it was. Maybe I need to talk to Missionary Wigs and she could tell me what was it. Maybe Missionary Wigs, if you're in the bushes, maybe you can call in and tell me what kind of wig it is. Because you know Missionary Wigs, you got all type of wigs. You already know Missionary Wigs will kind of tell me what kind of hair was he rocking. So let me know in the comments, Missionary Wigs, if you're in the bushes, call in and you tell me what kind of wig, because you know she's a wigologist of what's going on. She came in and she said, why do blue she said what was that lady name that's on Hollywood Unlocked? She was talking about her wig, calling it Rick James wig. So maybe we can get it. Was it a synthetic wig? They said it was a synthetic it's a synthetic. I don't know what kind of wig it was. I didn't even know wigs can catch on fire like that. What was he doing? What was he doing for that wig to catch on fire like that? Let me know in the comments. What in the world was he doing that made that wig get on fire? Let me know. What was it to make it just get on fire? Okay, let me know. What was it to make that get on fire like that? There's no telling. While he was going, it's a lie where he got some rolling his wigs down. I don't understand. Then he got in a car accident one time and his chair was on the ground. This man do a whole lot of stuff. And he probably try to smoke that green and hand probably jerking, got the nerves all in his arms and whoop fire. Probably get that marijuana or probably smoking some cigars or some Newports 100s. Probably smoking some Black and Miles. Probably got that jerk all in his arm and just dripped all on his head. No, it's no telling. Ain't no telling what covered it. It's no telling. You know you can't be doing that if you ain't got your head straight to be doing all that. I'm just be honest with you. You know, you gotta have that head strong like this. You can't be jerking and try to smoke and all that type of stuff. You catch your head catch on fire. Okay. So we're moving pretty fast because we don't have that many subjects to really talk about today. Really, we don't. So if y'all want to call in, let me make sure I get the phone lines booted up too before we get into our last subject of the day. Our last subject of the day. Before we get into that last subject, I'm gonna boot up the lines real quick, just in case you all want to call in. I will boot the lines up for you all. I should have been did it, so y'all might hear a little sound. Shout out to the producers that's in the chat. Love you all. Hope y'all having a wonderful day. I hope whoever watching me at work that y'all don't be doing it while you're on the floor and while you're in your cubicle. Make sure you got the volume down so you won't lose your job because we ain't gonna be able to help you lose your job because you're watching the Wiley Show because you're supposed to be packing them boxes up and working. So make sure you're doing real good with that. I'm about to put these phone lines up. So give me a second while I get the lines up here. Okay, let me make sure. All right, there we go. All right. Okay, I'm gonna put the lines up so we get to people. We're gonna get into our last subject of the day. Purr. Ooh wee. Fire, fire, fire. Okay. Oh my gosh. Wow, Rolling Ray.
Your show now, press 1.
Your show is scheduled to start in 31 seconds.
Talk all that mess in your head is on fire. Why, Rolling Ray? Lord, y'all pray for this man. Why?
Your show will go live in 5 seconds.
I want to know
4,
who helped him.
3, 2, 1.
Who helped him? Let me see. I want to know who
Blog
helped him.
Talk Radio.
Let me make sure. Who? I want to know who helped him. Who was that? His caregiver that got the bucket and threw it out to his CNA? I want to know where was his CNA at. No, I'm being real serious. Where was his CNA? Was the nurse on duty? Where was his CNA at? Let's get it together. Where was his CNA? Now we're gonna get into the last subject here before we open up the phone lines. Give me a second. Before we open the phone, let's get into Wendy Williams. Now, Wendy Williams, her documentary, her movie is coming out, and is apparently that she's reported that she was raped by Sharik, an 80s singer. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I hope I'm saying his name right. Sharik. I hope I say or Sharik. Let me make sure I'm saying the brother's name right. Saying that he was that he raped her. He was an 80s singer, and it's saying that she was raped. Now his widow spoke out today in the media, and his widow definitely spoke out today, and also she did an interview with a blogger. But let me tell you what happened. So Wendy Williams alleged that she was in a hotel room and she was interviewing Sharik. I hope it's Sharik, was interviewing him, and he date raped her. Now, the widow of the artist that raped Wendy Williams spoke out today, and she just did an interview on my Wiggins show. And the widow, she said, "How do we know why is Wendy Williams speaking out now concerning her being raped by him? Why is she speaking out now?" The widow's talking about, and she was like, "Why did the widow?" The widow was saying, "Why did Wendy Williams go into this hotel room with this man?" Okay, and she was pretty much dragging Wendy Williams. She called her a this man built woman. It's up that line on Sharik, and she was saying that they both were smoking crack. They was having a couple. Now, the woman also said she was not married when this particular situation happened. So I'm like, how do you say all these things when you wasn't even there? How can you say Wendy Williams did not get raped when you wasn't even in the room? How can you say this when you wasn't even there? How can you discredit and speak ill will of what Wendy Williams is saying? Now, one part that I agree with the widow on, like, yes, you don't say, because when she said, Wendy Williams said it's on your children, so it ain't got nothing to do with the children, because the children did not rape you. You're saying that Sharik, I hope I said his name right, raped you. So it ain't got nothing to do with his children. But to the wife, you can't be going around talking about, well, Wendy Williams, I don't believe you wasn't in the room. You was not there. So how can you get out here and say all of these ill wills about what Wendy Williams did, and she said, no, you was not there, right? And if a woman comes to my hotel room 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, that does not give me the right to assault her. That does not I don't care if that woman got on Gucci thongs and come in your hotel room. If she don't want to screw you or sleep with you, no means no. I don't care how she dressed. I don't care what she does. She could be butt, no clothes on. That does not give you an excuse to get on top of a woman that you have to force yourself on top. That does not give you that excuse to do it. If she don't want to get down like that, she don't want to get down there. I don't care if y'all sitting there smoking coke or crack. That does not give you a right to rape a woman. So his wife, and she kept saying, I am a victim. I'm a victim. But if you're a victim, you won't want nobody telling you that, oh, that didn't happen to you, girl. What did you do? Why did you go up to that hotel room at 2 a.m? Now, don't do that. Now, one part that I agree with you on is that Wendy Williams, should not bring your children in because the kids don't have nothing to do with it. They wasn't even born yet when he allegedly raped you, right? Now, to Wendy Williams' credit, Wendy wrote a book back in the 90s, and she explained in detail what really happened to her. But black people, most people don't read like that. So all of this is new. Maybe the wife or the widower did not read the book of Wendy explaining being raped by this 80s singer. Now, what the wife did, the wife called into my show. She was clearly give you a clear example of victim blaming. Victim shaming. Shaming the victim. She let her late husband, get a pass, and she was shaming the victim. You got to be very cautious shaming the victim. You need to be keeping and say this. Well, if it happened, my apologies. Let the investigations happen, but you literally did that. Now, I do believe that you should go to the authorities. You should get a rape kit. You should get that. But if that person don't do that, we still cannot be saying that person is lying because you just never know. So with them cases, I always say allegedly. I hope he did not do it. But let's not just jump on Wendy Williams' back and talk about why she didn't say nothing about it, because maybe she was guilty. Maybe she didn't know. Maybe when it came to the back, maybe she was guilty that it didn't happen. Maybe Wendy was like, hey, I can't go to nobody because if this happened back in the 80s or late 80s, they didn't really take women serious when they said they were raped. Right? Okay. And so all of this is going to bring traffic to her movie. All of this will bring traffic to the documentary. I've heard, I think Armand said on his show that he watched the movie and he watched the documentary. I've heard from other people that watched it, said it's going to be good. Some people even told me the documentary is better than the movie. I talked with somebody today, said they watched the movie and they watched the documentary. They feel like the documentary is going to be better. Now, let's be clear. Okay, let's be clear. The most of the times when I watched the movie, when I watched it, the trailer of the movie, it didn't look that amount of it did not look like the movie was really had a high budget. It looked kind of cheap, in my humble opinion. The movie looked kind of cheap. It didn't seem like it was a big quality movie. It looked really kind of cheap to me. It did. It really did. It looked cheap. I'm gonna be honest with you. It looked real cheap. It didn't look like it was no big budget movie. I don't know if y'all saw it. It looked very low budget to me. I could be wrong, but if you go back to that trailer, it didn't look like it had a big budget. It didn't. It really didn't. Let me say this. Do we have any callers in queue? If you calling in, make sure you call in and we'll bring you on. So y'all let me know if y'all want to speak on that subject. If you want to call in, call in. I'm going to talk about this last point right here. Now, Ariana Grande announced that she's having a remix coming out, 34 plus 35 remix. And it's going to be Doja Cat and Megan Thee Stallion. Now, mind you, Cupcake, she wanted to be on the remix. She was not picked to be on the remix. Megan Thee Stallion and Doja Cat will be on the remix. So, because Doja Cat put a tweet out saying, hey, I want to be on the remix, but she was not picked to be on the remix. And let me tell you the thing that Cupcake got to understand. Cupcake is just not an artist that is commercial. Cupcake, to me, it don't give me a commercial. The only time I want to hear from Cupcake when she's ratting on somebody, ranting on someone, or dragging someone. I really don't see her as an artist. I've said this before, even when she was out here dissing rappers, you don't hear no much about her unless she's doing like a diss record. She's just really not that commercial, in my humble opinion. It don't have nothing to do with her weight, have nothing to do with her skin tone. She's just, to me, not commercial. And I still do not listen to like Cupcake records like that, but I listen to, I do listen to Megan Thee Stallion records, even though I don't really like her like that. I think she's kind of overrated. And I do listen to Doja Cat. She's really talented. So I'm not shocked Cupcake, you got to do more stuff to be commercial, because these mainstream artists like Ariana Grande will not book you until you're more commercial. Get more commercial, then you can get it. All right. Let's go to the phone lines. Make sure we turn down in the background. Let's get these callers in. People, wake up. Let's get these callers in. Okay, let's go to the first caller. 4001. Call you on air.
Oh my God, Wiley?
Yes.
You hear me, Wiley?
I hear you. Go ahead, sister.
I'm trying to tell you, honey, the first thing I want to tell you is thank you for being you, because I have unsubscribed to a lot of these YouTube bloggers because they just can't keep it real. Every day I click on your show, I get a click of you and a laugh.
Oh, well, thank you.
I love you.
Love you.
First of all, I want to say, as far as the Nicki Minaj situation and the lawsuit, you know, I think every great person got to take a loss. It's not like she didn't took a lot. Yeah, she got a little situation going on with her husband and this assault issue. But other than that, she ain't took no lot of loss.
Right, but you can't be going around taking somebody's music. But you know, Master Flux, what's his name? Master Flex or something like that.
Master Flex.
He should never played the song if the song wasn't an official song. So that was like, he was messy too. Now Nicki should be calling him, talking about why you up there playing unreleased records. So he was wrong for playing it. Because if he never would have played the song, it would have never came out. The artist would have never known that her song was copyrighted.
Funk Master Flex, he is messy as he want to be anyway. So he's really irrelevant in the real people's world, because he's messy. He's always been messy.
Okay.
He is messy, and he's always been messy.
And him and Nicki Minaj didn't really get along like that too.
And they don't have to, because she know he messy. She knows he's messy too. And I want to go on to the next thing about Wendy Williams and her book. She just writing a book. She just told a story. Ain't nobody got to believe it.
But do you believe that she was raped by that artist? That, you know, she's alleging that she was raped by 80s artists. Do you believe that?
I don't know if I you know, it's not really for me to believe, because I really don't know these people. But I will say that as a woman, a lot of women, and mostly all women, have been put in a compromising situation at some point in their life. Whether they were younger or older, or she made a bad decision and went somewhere she shouldn't have, not carried her ass to. But everybody's been put in a compromising situation. So I'm not going to say it did or did not happen.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in.
I love you, Wiley. Keep doing what you're doing.
Love you. Bye-bye. All right. We go on to the next caller. Make sure you have returned down in the back. Next caller, 1753. Call you on the air.
Hi, Wiley. How are you?
All right.
Good. So I just want to talk about a couple of stuff you touched on.
Yes.
So first, I'm going to talk about Nicki Minaj. So with Nicki Minaj, I'm kind of disappointed, because I feel like rappers or people who have like a lot of money and esteem, they're always trying to shortchange someone. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if it was just a snippet of a song, how did it get into Funk Master Flex hands to begin with? You know what I mean? And I do feel like she should have paid more, but at least she still paid. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because not too long ago, you know, Beyonce did the same thing, right? There was a lady who had a wedding shop named Blue Ivy or something like that, but she had trademarked it before Beyonce did. And, you know, so Beyonce proceeded to sue her and carry her to court and all these other stuff. So I feel like, you know, when you're a big label or a big name, I just like you have to be more careful. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not fair to, you know, the people who are up and coming.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about that. So I do feel like she needs to pay up. The next thing is, I really do wish we could cancel thug culture. Okay? Like, we have so many people saying, like, oh, he's a good rapper, he's a good artist, this and that. However, if he did take a life, he needs to be reprimanded, no matter how talented he is. You know what I mean? I do miss the days that you know, rappers used to fake, like Ja Rule. You know, they used to rap about it, but they never used to be about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, they can't keep, you know, the street life and the professional life, like, you know, separate. You know what I mean? Because, you know, rappers have access to a lot of high esteemed people. They also have, you know, people who endorse them and things like that. And then to just like throw everything down the drain, it's kind of just like, what are you really doing?
Facts. I agree with you on that.
So, You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a chance that a lot of people don't get, because it's hard to even like reach superstardom in this time, you know, with people pirating and things like that. And you have a big name and you're going to go ahead and do a crime. I don't feel sorry for him. Lock him up and throw away the key.
Oh.
The next thing, Roland Ray. Can we please stop using sensational weave wigs? Okay, like, I thought we in 2021. I know his fibers are mixed. That's how he got into that fire. However, I do hope that he's okay. Okay, but I'm sorry, that wig was probably synthetic.
Oh my God.
And when it comes to Wendy Williams, last but not least, I just kind of feel like that's why women never really speak out about rape, because the first thing that other women do is like, oh, how do we know it's real? How do you know it's fake? We don't know it's real and we don't know it's fake, but I do feel like we should not ignore it. A lot of times in Black culture, we ignore and turn the other way when females talk about getting raped or getting molested, and then be like, oh, you shouldn't put yourself in that compromising position. What is a compromising position?
Facts. I agree with you.
Like, I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? That's like telling a female, you know, like, she might be 15 or 14 and she's like, you know, really developed. Okay, but she shouldn't look like this, or she shouldn't dress like this. No, at the end of the day, men should know their place. And if it's no, then no means no. Doesn't matter if she's high. Doesn't matter if she's drunk. You know what I'm saying? Where's your integrity? So I do feel like we just need to, like, you know, let the chips fall where they may. Okay. And we just watch it play out.
Amen to that. Well, we thank you so much for your call.
So, thank you so much. Bye, Wiley.
Bye-bye. All right, we go on to the next caller. Make sure everything is turned on in the back. Live on the Wiley Show, 6196. You live.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
Hey. So I just really want to touch on this whole Wendy Williams thing. So the first thing is, like you said, if anybody's read her book that she came out with over 20 years ago, she described this story in great detail. She just didn't mention his name, and her story has never changed. When she's kind of touched on it later on, she just, again, never mentioned the name. And so I definitely believe her. And then I don't know, I just feel like, because I watched the Armand interview with the wife or whatever, and it just got me a little upset in the sense of, I'm just tired of the victim shaming, because, like, it just reminds me so much of, okay, like this whole Megan and Tory thing. First thing it was, oh, I wonder who shot Meg, and as soon as she said something, oh, they didn't want to blame her. She must have did something to Tory, so, you know, and I don't believe her. And it's like, she obviously didn't shoot herself, but again, she's the blame, okay? Even though she got hurt, she's to blame. Same thing with this Wendy Williams situation. Okay, she went upstairs to the hotel room. Maybe it wasn't the best decision, but that doesn't mean it gives that man the okay to assault you. You get what I'm saying?
Facts. You right.
And it's just, I'm sorry.
I said facts.
Right. So I'm just tired of the victim shaming. It's like, and then they wonder, well, why now? Why people don't come forward? Why they didn't say this and why they say that? Because every time someone speaks up, the story is nitpicked, and it's nitpicked and then not believed. It's nitpicked and then you still called a liar. So what's the sense of coming forward? Again, I bring up the whole Megan and Tory thing only because that's just, to me, a prime example. Everybody was speculating. When she didn't say anything, everybody was speculating. And then when she said something, they want to nitpick her story. Knowing good well, okay, whether she cussed him out or whatever. Again, she didn't deserve to have bullet fragments in her foot. Whether she said he got shot in both feet, she got shot in the foot, whether it was shot, whether bullets or bullet fragments, she got hurt. Same thing with Wendy. Whether she was up there and they were drunk or high, she still got assaulted. It doesn't excuse the situation.
All right. Thank you so
but
much.
Everybody wants to nitpick and
thank you.
Everybody wants to nitpick and blame the victim. Thanks, Wiley.
All right. Thank you. All right. We go on to the next caller. 9271. Call you on the air. 9271. Hello, 9271. All right. You got to be ready. Anonymous, you live on the air.
Hey, what's up, Wiley?
Hey.
It's not one of your topics tonight, but they was going in on it on Bigo the other day, and I want to get your opinion on this. LaToya Luckett from Destiny's Child is getting a divorce from her husband. And a lot of the people felt that she should divorce her husband and break up her family. And I feel like if Beyonce can take Jay-Z back, or Lala can take back, Carmelo, or Chloe can take back Tristan, LaToya should take her husband back. But, I mean, she just had a new baby. Why would she want to break her family up? And she claims to always be to put God first. And when you see LaToya, she always talking about prayer. Why is she so quick to divorce her husband and break up her family and not really follow, what the Bible says in terms of, keeping her family together?
Okay, it's her decision. You have to ask her that question. It's her decision. But I'm going to go to the next caller because we're not on that today. All right, thank you. 7572, call you on air.
Wiley?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my God, it's crazy because every time you say you on the air, I'll be saying, Wiley, can you hear me? Then the other callers go through. Hi, how you feeling? Okay. Let me get into this real quick, and I'm going to speed it up very quick, okay? Now, what I don't understand about us African-American Black women, I know there's a lot of Nicki Minaj fans out here, but I need for these Black women that's Nicki Minaj fans, just to understand, where I am coming from. You have, Nicki Minaj that's married to a sex offender. Okay? So let's clear that out the way. So let's not forget about her paying her brother lawyer fees for sexually molesting his 11-year-old stepdaughter. You understand? Now, as Nicki Minaj being a celebrity and having a platform, if I am a celebrity and if I am finding out my brother did something like that, some people say, yes, I'm going to ride with my brother. Some people say, I'm going to step back because I don't want that to be calamitous damage on me. She turned around and married.
Okay, but why are we discussing that? Was that?
Listen, just hear what I'm saying, Wiley.
Why are you mentioning her for?
Because I'm about to just hear me out real quick. When you are married to a sex offender, I don't respect you.
Okay, but that's not the topic though. Well, I'm trying to say.
Let's move it on to Wendy Williams.
Okay,
let's move it to Wendy Williams.
Okay.
Let's move it on to Wendy Williams. Okay. Wendy Williams been spreading so many gossip, so much about people, but she do a documentary and say she been raped. Over the years that we listened to Wendy Williams on the radio, a lot of women been talking about them being raped. I always heard Wendy Williams laugh at them, but she looking for sympathy. And I don't understand that. Now you trying to look for sympathy and all these crocodile tears. No, baby, it don't work like that. You understand? Because you should have been talked about it.
But she
and
wrote
if you
in
would
her
have
book,
talked about it in the earth, and I understand that because
Back
it's
in
not
the
like
early
Wendy
90s.
Williams never wrote a book.
Yeah, she wrote it in her. She talked about this
Babe,
in the early 90s in her book. So this is not the first time this was mentioned. She mentioned this a while ago. It is in her book. It's in the early 90s when she released her book. So this is not the first time this was mentioned.
This is not the first time it was mentioned.
No,
but I think Wendy Williams should have also said the man's name that did this to her. And she could have also been on a platform that women that was sexually molested and raped. And let me stop you right there, Wiley. No disrespect to your platform, baby. To these women that have been sexually molested and raped, y'all can get on the platform and talk down about R. Kelly, but y'all are promoting and giving Nicki Minaj a high five. And she's married to a sex offender. I'm not saying you, Wiley.
But
Wally, I'm not saying you, baby.
But that's
I'm
not
talking
the
about her
Why
fans.
Are we mentioning Nicki?
Wally, are you a fan?
Why are you mentioning
Are
Nicki?
you a fan?
Why are you mentioning
Because
Nicki?
she's or married to a sex offender and she
matter
or
who
the
she's
topic.
married. Okay, but
that's the reason why I'm talking about her.
Man, it's irrelevant to bring up Nicki Minaj.
I just don't understand why y'all sitting there sugarcoating stuff.
That have nothing to do with it.
I can't be keep it real. Y'all, everybody want to sit here and give her a pat on the back. Look who she's married to.
That have nothing to do with the topic today. This is about Wendy Williams.
Let me tell you something.
About the lawsuit. What you're talking about, we already talked about that.
She got a lawsuit.
She got a lawsuit.
She should have a lawsuit.
Not about what you're talking
and
about.
Tracy Chapman, who's an icon, living legend.
Okay.
Oh, who is Nicki Minaj?
This
ain't Nicki Minaj's first pregnancy. Nicki Minaj been having several abortions.
Okay, well, thank you.
Come on, we're not going to sit here and play games.
Okay, but thank you so much for calling.
Nicki Minaj ain't no different from any goddamn.
Thank you so much. This ain't got nothing to do with your disdain or distrust with Nicki, okay? All right, let's go to the next caller. Okay, if you're not off topic, I gotta hang up. 2466 caller, you on the air.
Wiley?
Yes. Turn me down the
you
background.
You shouldn't be rude and gay.
Yes.
You shouldn't be rude and gay.
You said what? You said what, caller? All right. You said 9271 caller, you on the air.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
Man, this has been. I mean, okay, let's get back on topic.
Yeah,
because that was crazy. And so I only have one thing to say, and that is, Saucy Santana need to go ahead and make another song right now and get on Rolling Ray and call him Burning Ray and make a Burning Ray song, make a Burning Ray song, get it up, make a Burning Ray song. Yes. Let's change this topic and get it back on where it's supposed to be. All right, now. Good night, Wiley.
Good night. Okay. Oh, wow. 3653, call you on air.
Hello.
Hello,
Wiley. I love your show. I just wanted to say real quick that it has nothing to do with all the celebrities, but did you hear about the two California boys?
Oh, no, we talking about this subject. What we talking about? Any other news subject, you got to DM me.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right.
I thought I just want to get a little attention.
Okay, yeah, we're going to talk. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, now. All
Bye.
right. Bye-bye. 0653, call you on air.
Yeah. Wiley, you be having some good patience. I noticed that. That's just a sidebar conversation. You be having some good patience, boy, because I be on this other side like, oh. But yeah, the Wendy Williams stuff. Yeah, so she finally put the man name out there.
Yes, she did.
And I think that's kind of scary, though. I think that I'm like, is Wendy Williams on her way out? Like, you know, is she on her way to the man upstairs? Because all of a sudden she got the documentary coming out. Then she finally revealed the man that raped her, because she has been talking about this her whole career. So she finally revealed that. And I'm like, oh, I'm kind of scared what's going to happen with Wendy. And then Rolling Ray. See, this is why you got to be careful. See, we forget that these Kikis cut kind of deep, and it's deeper than a Kiki, because Rolling Ray, he be talking a mess about everybody, and he done caught fire. So how you can't run and you got caught fire? Like, who saved them? How that happened? So I think people better be careful what they say on these here internet streets, because you never know what happens in real life. Some people, whoosh, and a fire starts.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. It's not funny, but I don't know how it happened. You know, they say it was a synthetic wig. You know, I don't want to know, do he have them alert buttons? You know, that alert button, you know, that commercial used to come out like a little call button, alert button. I want to know, do he have one of those? And if he don't have one, he should invest in one of them alert buttons.
I got a feeling I know what happened. I got a feeling then people was like, there you go. There go that boy right there. and they set that ass on fire. Oh, I'm sorry for church. They set him on fire. I'm telling you, somebody did that. Watch. And let's hope it wasn't Saucy No Sauce that set the match to Rolling Ray.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. No. Let's hope
All right, Wiley, I'm about to drop down to the chat.
Thank you. I hope not that happened. Yeah, life alert. I want to know, do he got one of them life alert buttons? Let's go to the next caller. All right. We're talking about Nicki Minaj loses lawsuit. We also talking about YFN Lucci locked up. We also talking about Rolling Ray being hospitalized, and we're talking about Wendy Williams putting out her rapist and talking about that, and also talking about doing commentary on the interview that the rapist's wife did on Armand Wiggins' show. Next caller, 9867. Caller, you on air.
Hello, Wiley and chat. Hey, everyone. This is the voice from New York. So I just have I'm just going to keep it kind of brief. So the Wendy Williams situation, I think we have to be, I know not a lot of people like Wendy Williams, and she's like one of those gossip queens for so long, but I'm glad she was able to heal and reveal the name of her rapist, as well as, come up with the book, since the documentary, since she already had the book. And I don't like when people victim shame people who go through these traumatic stuff. We must be mindful. We don't know what she's going through internally. She does use drugs, so she did use drugs. That could have been a negative coping strategy that she used to escape from that. But we can't tell anyone you were never raped. You can't do that unless you're there. Unless you're the scrotum, you can't tell if someone was raped or not. And two, you can't force anyone to tell you if they were raped, because there's no given time of doing so. They have to be ready. All you can do is support her, and hopefully she's healed, which you will never be healed, because it's always going to be a mental and emotional scar. She has to live with that for the rest of her life and nobody else. So we just have to just give her grace, and happy that she was able to feel comfortable in even revealing the name, because it could be a scar. Every time she does, it could be like, a post-traumatic stress disorder for her. Like, I remember, it's like, oh my God, we don't know what she goes through. Secondly, when it comes to the Nicki Minaj lawsuit, I am a Nicki fan, but, this is nothing to Nicki, okay? Like, this is like $5 for her. Okay, this is like a Metro card in New York City, and I think that's $5.50 round trip. She lost it. She lost the lawsuit. She didn't want to drag it any longer. So she was like, I'll pay you. It is what it is. Let me just move on to bigger and better things. She can learn from this experience and keep it pushing. When it comes to YFN Lucci lockup, I'm glad he locked up. Okay, like, first of all these rappers who are promoting these violence, who live in this life, are the ones who are going to influence the youth, right? The ones that want to be rapper. It's like, if you're a rapper, you better have bulletproof vests and everything, because Lord Jesus, they're just dying like flies. But as far as him being locked up, I think hopefully Roger Carter realized the type of man he is, because he's always been trash, and hopefully he's convicted. And then she can move forward with not being, I know they're not together, so they claim, but she's going to hold him down. And I just don't understand why women who have everything still want to date Dusties. Like, it's just baffling. She's similar to like a Yaya. But YFN Lucci, if you did the crime, you got to pay the time. I don't feel remorse. I feel remorse for the person that got their life taken away so early, however they got their life taken away. And lastly, Wiley, with the Rolling Ray, okay. I understand that Rolling Ray is someone who, he is wheelchair bound, and he does make mockery of individuals. And I think because he's a hurt person, so a hurt person tends to hurt people. And he did mention a comment that was very starky and disrespectful to Young Miami about digging up her dead baby father. Okay, which I'm sure no woman wants to live or hear about that and know that their child is fatherless. So he was very disrespectful on that. And karma will always come back around. On the flip side, being burned is a very traumatic event. Okay, right now he got freshly burned. We don't know how it's going to heal. Okay, and I'm sure those scars are going to be evident. and unless you get surgery on it, I don't wish nothing on anyone evil like that, or evil in general. I just hope that he reevaluate his life. He capitalize on this because not only he's a wheelchair person, so now you can talk about disability. Now he's a burn victim. He can always capitalize on this bag, like go into commercials and show people who are burned and show them they're still beautiful, although they are burned. He better change his name to Hot Willie Roland Ray, make videos, make songs about it, hit organizations with burn victims and be a spokesperson, although he can't really speak, because he got the ill lips with the over, and his teeth is too crowded, right? So, but that's part of his brand. But I feel like he can always capitalize on this since he is a public figure. Since there are so many people who go through burning, and I did. It's a very traumatic experience. I've never been burned, but anything with the face is very traumatic. Okay, I just don't understand why someone like Roland Ray is even using synthetic wigs. I just want to know how it happened. I just want to know. I just need him to tell us how. And I think they need to do a safety. Okay. People need to be understood. When you wear these things, wigs here, don't be near any fire, please. Especially if you have no one there to help you out. Can you imagine he was probably running around, not even wheeling around in his wheelchair, say, "Oh my God, fire!" I don't have no fire extinguisher because he's disabled.
Yeah.
All
right.
Let's just happy that he's alive. I feel like it's karma for him.
All right. Thank you for your comments. All right.
You're welcome.
All right now. Bye-bye. Okay, we go on to the next caller. 8038 caller, you're on air.
Unmuted.
038.
You gay fag, you fucking faggot.
Here we go. 5204 caller, you're on air.
Well, I just woke up. I went to go to the bathroom and I heard the show is on. The last caller who just called and said that that's Roland Ray's karma is horrible. I was burned in a house fire and was hospitalized for 1 month in the burn unit in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And being burned is no joke. And she just said that that's his karma. What was my karma? I had a newborn baby and I was burned trying to save my newborn's life. And I thank God that we are both alive and all my neighbors are here to tell the story. I just woke up, like I said, so I don't know what happened. I've been up for like 10 minutes listening. But being burned is a serious thing. Yes. If anything, we should pray. Pray for him. It's horrible. I had skin grafts. I had pig skin placed on my body. And the thing about it, I don't even eat pork. I know it sounds crazy, but it was actually pig skin because I couldn't even use my own skin to donate to my skin grafts. Having a over 6-hour surgery and going through something like that is very traumatic. It's very traumatic. And thankfully, it was not my face because I'm a very vain person. It was my arms and my legs. And, it happened about 10 years ago, 2009 to be exact. And I still go through stuff regarding it. I still have, people stare and, it's a hard thing. So for people to say he deserved it or what's his karma, that is so wrong. That is so wrong. If anything, we should pray and hope that he's okay because being burned on your face, I couldn't even imagine. That's not nice to say. God bless Ray, whatever he's going through. I don't know, if he's a, person that says things that people don't like. Maybe this will change him to be a better person. But being burned is no joke. Let's just send him some prayer.
All right.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, sister. Thank you so much for calling in. I hope you feel better. All right. 5840, calling you on air.
Hey, I just want to say shout out to that 550 round trip. This is the icon from New York.
Hi.
Once again, shout out to that 550 round trip. But yeah, I just want to say, the last caller, I was going to make a funny comment, but being that the last caller called and made like a serious note, I was going to say, this is the Wiley Show and we're here for entertainment, but at the end of the day, we are not victim shaming anyone that has or anyone that recently got burnt, or hurt. All right, but once again, this is just for entertainment purposes only. So please don't take it serious. The Wiley Show is real, funny. We joke, but at the end of the day, we're real. So shout out to Roland Ray. But at the end of the day, yeah, I will make money off of this. Like, you know, I'll come out with a song, Stop, Drop, and Roll. I'm Roland Ray. Like, you know, but for fun. Like, we love the Wiley Show. I did not get a chance because I don't watch the other guy, but is it worth it to check it out for what the lady was saying?
Well, pretty much the lady was just dragging Wendy Williams. She called her man body built. She said that she was doing crack, that Wendy Williams was doing crack, and why did Wendy Williams go up to the man's room? So it was
and was she verified? Is that the real?
I don't know. It was just an audience. I don't know if it's to be verified. I don't know if it was her, you know, because there was no video. It was audio, you know, but she sounded convincing.
Yeah, because you know everyone is doing a click and a view and scamming. Not saying he's scamming, but
yeah.
And look at question with Roland Ray. He doesn't have hair actually, do he?
I don't know if he had hair. I know he always wore wigs and weave.
But yeah, a wig. I mean, is it glued on permanently? Can he have not snatched it off? I'm a little confused with that. And why didn't he have like a hair clip?
Somebody said, "Stop, drop, and roll." Y'all, it's crazy. Y'all, it's crazy.
But yeah, can someone in the chat like let me know, because I don't really follow him. It's a Kiki, but not a Kiki. But yeah, I'm sure his hair wasn't like stitched in, like, you know, like a weave. It was probably like glued to the forehead. Couldn't he have just messed it off?
I don't know what world went on. Maybe he couldn't grab it. Maybe his arm was jerky. There's no telling. There's really no telling.
And this is allegedly. I hope this is not a scam, because The Weeknd had like a makeup tutorial. We thought he was looking crazy, but that was a makeup scam that was going on. So hopefully, did someone really see like a fire?
He took like a.
Did someone really see it?
We didn't see the fire or anything, but you know, we must have went live on IG last night and saying that he was in the hospital.
Because nowadays people do a lot of stuff to go viral. Not saying that he's doing this for viral moments, but you know, I don't know. So we'll just wait and see. Hopefully the makeup don't wash off if it is a Kiki. But
I hear that.
At the end of the day, at the Wiley Show, we do love her.
Yeah.
So come on to the Wiley Show and give us an exclusive of what really happened. What were you doing for your hair to catch on fire? We want to know.
We want to know.
Thanks, Wiley. Going back in the bushes.
All right. Thank you so very much. Okay. And then I'm going to pull up that tweet later. Let me go to this next caller. All right. 0231, call you on air. 0231, call you on air.
Wally.
Yes.
It's Wally.
Yeah. How long you going to have 16K subscribers?
All right. All right. Let's go to this. It said Cupcake retweeted this. I got to give y'all the tweet what she put out. Okay. She put this tweet out. Well, this is earlier. I'm already in the studio. Ariana, I'm coming for you, sis. My grande coffee in my head so I can be very woke during this process because somebody was being messy. The street saying Cupcake is about to diss Ariana because of that tweet. So I meant to put that tweet out, but I didn't put it, so I'm showing y'all now. And here we go. Just heard 34 plus 35 at Ariana Grande. I would love to bless that remix. So I told you she had a tweet. So she didn't get the remix. The remix went to Megan and Doja Cat. Well, Cupcake got to do better. And I'm gonna be clear with you. Cupcake just got to get a mainstream song. Her songs are not mainstream. It got to be mainstream. Cupcake, you got to have songs that's commercial. You got to have songs that people are doing, TikToks to. You got to have them type of records. All right. In order for you to be taken serious, Cupcake, you got to hit that boot and you got to get songs that's actually doable out there, okay? Real.
That's right. Bringing you the best in politics and celebrity gossip. This is the Wiley Show.
Y'all need to listen to that, okay?
Don't stop. Keep it going.
All right. 3154. All right. Here we go. All right. What did y'all say in the chat? Can you block? They said she can't get mad because she was not in the remix. Yeah, she's no, ain't no big, ain't working with that. She's a Ricky Tariana, got to appeal to the pro market, and she ain't with it right now. She needs an industry friend. LOL, you got to sign up to that contract. And yeah, she probably got to be mainstream. You know, being independent is not always good. You got to be mainstream when you're doing music.
Hey, so first thing I want to talk about is Roland Ray. I wish him healing.
Yes.
Hopefully, I'm wishing him healing and for him to get better. And, hopefully he'll kind of change a little bit about speaking ill on the dead, It's an unfortunate situation, but I wish him healing and a speedy recovery. Nicki Minaj with the whole lawsuit thing. I already knew that she was going to lose because she did that song, even though she didn't get the approval, even though Tracy Chapman had already said no, and she snuck and had that song played on Funk Master Flex. Hence is why she settled. If Funk Flex got that information, he got that music from Nicki. She wanted, her fans and everybody to hear about it because she never even said anything about it on the internet, even after he played it. And if she didn't give him the okay to play it, then she would have went after him and sued him for playing music that wasn't supposed to be released. So Tracy Chapman getting almost $500,000 for a song that Nicki did not profit on, I still think it is a win because Nicki was not able to really profit off of the song, and Tracy Chapman was able to gain $400,000 behind it. So I guess that'll teach her next time to not use, people's songs that they tell you no. Just because you're Nicki Minaj, it doesn't give you the right to use somebody's music if they tell you no, you can't use it. YFN Lucci, that there, you better buckle up because if they got all of this evidence against him and he really was involved in this whole murder or murder for hire, yeah, he's going down. He's going down and he's going to be doing some serious time because they might even hit him with a RICO, because they said that, it's gang affiliated and is more than one person involved. He might get hit with a RICO. Not sure what Regina is going to do, being that her father is facing jail time on the gun charge, and now her boyfriend is in jail for murder. So, anyway, Wendy Williams.
You're right. I'm mutual on that point. What's your last point you making?
Wendy Williams. This one I'm kind of like split in the middle. So I believe Wendy. I definitely do believe that she was assaulted. When you read what she had released, they both were doing crack. When she went back to his hotel, she said that he had crack already laid out. The party continued, so she continued to doing crack while he was supposed to be taking a shower. And, they both were drugged up and he assaulted her. He raped her. Now, I do believe that a woman should be able to tell her truth. That one, I definitely believe. The only thing is that this man died in 1999.
Yes, he did.
This happened in the late 80s. He is not alive to even say yay or nay or say I'm sorry or anything. So now he's leaving his family, his loved ones, his kids, his ex-wife to fend for it. And that's the part that's kind of like, yes, she should be able to tell her story, which she's already told her story, but she never revealed the name. But I'm kind of leery on whether or not it should have even been disclosed, since she never chose to disclose the name while he was alive, you know, and then to bring the kids into it. You just don't bring the kids because the kids didn't have anything to do with that. You know what I'm saying? If their father, you know, assaulted you, it has nothing to do with them, and he's gone, so he can't even, you know, defend himself. So that's what I got to say about the whole Wendy Williams stuff. You know, it's just like a slippery slope because the man is deceased and his kids don't know whether it happened or it didn't happen. Like, I believe her that it happened, but I'm not his family. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We're not his family, and so we don't know how his family feels. And that's all I got to say on that.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in. Like I said, the number is 646-716. Thank you. 8447. If you're going to call in, I will bring you on the air. Immediately following this live, we will be live on Station Head. So I already have the link up. So if you want to follow us over there, we'll be over there for the after show. Okay. Let me see this. Okay.
Well, I can't complain. I just wanted to say about Wendy Williams and, you know, victims in general. I think they should just kind of have the idea that when you take a long time, even though she wrote about it in her book, but, you know, in general, when you take a long time to share your truth, you should know every day that goes by, it's kind of like, if you don't have proof, it's like, okay, another day went by, my story is that's believable. Another day went by, my story is that's believable. It's sad, but that's just the case. Like, the more and more time you let go by, it's like, if you don't have the proof, your story is just believable. I feel like their best bet, like, even if you have a DNA, can you prove that it wasn't consensual? You know what I'm saying? Your best bet is to have some kind of documentation of that person acknowledging the fact that they did something that you didn't want them to do. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like admitting that they did it or apologizing for what they did. And I feel like that would be a victim's best proof. And then as far as Rolling Ray, people get, you know, up in arms, all upset about somebody saying this ain't karma. But if that's my opinion, then that's my opinion. If I feel like that's his karma, damn it, then that's what it is. If you even believe in karma, then you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? So for me to feel like that's his karma, then damn it, that's just my opinion. And it's kind of funny. It's not funny that he got burnt, but it's funny like the instant karma, like, okay, you thought one thing was going down and it ended up being something totally different. That's what's funny. Not the fact, no, you cannot. Not the fact that he got burnt. It's the fact that it came around full circle and we all got to witness it. Like, dang, you went from feeling like you was all on your high horse to now your ass is the victim of something. Not that it's funny, but I'm just saying the whole turnaround. So kind of like people ain't got to get all worked up over somebody saying that was somebody's karma. Damn it, if that's my opinion, that's my opinion. Just like you could call something a blessing. And who are you to say that maybe that's not a blessing and a good thing? Maybe God said that to happen for something else to happen, not necessarily for it to be a blessing in your life, but for it to be a blessing in somebody else's life. You know what I'm saying? So even a blessing, even if for somebody to say, oh, that's a blessing, that's an opinion. Like, oh, you got a new car, but you know what I'm saying? That it seems like it's a blessing that you got a new car, but really it's going to hinder you from, you're not going to do what you're supposed to do. If you would have had to get on the bus, you would have did what you were supposed to do. Now that you got a car, you're going to be distracted. So maybe it wasn't a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I said that's his karma, damn it, that's my opinion. If it's a blessing, that's up to God and the universe and the Lord, whether that's a blessing or whether that's his karma. But that's what I said. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
I hear you. Makes sense to me.
That's all I want. I'm a little nervous, but that's all I wanted.
All right. We thank you so much for calling in. You did good.
Oh, thank you. Have a good night.
All right, you too.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
I just want to say that
Stephanie, the lawyer from Texas,
how are you,
go
Wiley?
ahead. Doing good. Since you're a lawyer, talk about it.
Good. Okay, so
I don't, I'm not a prosecutor. I actually defend people accused of crimes, but I have learned from picking juries on, violence cases. I won't say the word, but the kind that Wendy is describing in her book. And now it is, and I saw some people talk about this in the chat. It's kind of counterintuitive, and maybe you wouldn't expect it, but other people who survive that are oftentimes the most critical of women who testify and say that happened to them. They're often the ones who believe them the least, and they're terrible for the prosecutors' juries. The prosecutors oftentimes try to keep them off the jury because they don't, they find reasons to not believe other people who say that happened to them. And it's a complicated reason. I don't really quite understand it, but I think it has to do with being defensive of what happened to them, and maybe that it diminishes what happened to them, and so oftentimes they do say things like, well, she shouldn't have done X, Y, and Z, and that wouldn't have happened to her. And I'm not trying to blame them for saying that, but I think it's just a psychological effect of how they're dealing with the pain that they're dealing with. And so I just think that's really it's not something you would think. You'd think it would be, they'd be quite understanding, and maybe the most understanding, but it's the opposite. And so I'm not really sure why that is. And again, I don't think they're being intentional about it or nasty. It's just probably some kind of psychological defense, maybe.
Okay. Why do you think a lot of people don't come forward and speak on it and do a rape kit and get, the authorities involved?
Right. And I mean, I think that kind of has something to do with it, as if you can't even trust other people who've been through that to stand with you. That is just a super hostile environment to come into. So it may be easier just to push it aside and tell yourself it didn't even happen. I mean, I think a lot of people go through that, and I think a lot of people would even say, sometimes they deal with the trauma by blaming themselves and saying, well, I shouldn't have done this or I shouldn't have done that. And they try to minimize what happened to them by doing that.
I feel you on that. Thank you so much for calling in. So you practice law, you said, in Texas, so that's good.
I do. Yeah. And I actually wanted to talk to you. I don't mean to get off topic, but I actually wanted to email you because I've been watching some of your older videos, and you said some really interesting things about your case that I wanted to talk to you about, just about your experiences and how you dealt with all of that. And so I'm going to send you an email.
All right. Thank you. Please do. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. All right.
Bye.
Thank you. You just never know who's listening to the Wiley Show. Thank you so very much. Okay. We got one caller on here, 3763. Caller on air.
Hi, Wally.
Hi.
Wiley, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Hey, sweetie. I've called in several different times, and unfortunately, I jumped in at kind of the middle of your live. Okay. So I just want to touch bases on. I'm assuming you guys are referring to the Wendy Williams documentary and what she is disclosing in regards to her. What she's disclosing in regards to the things that have happened to her in the past. First things first, shout out to that lawyer that was just on the line with you. She said some things that are very pertinent to victims or, survivors. Let me not say victims, because when things happen to you as a child, you're no longer a victim, especially if you've overcome them or you're doing your best to overcome them, and you are determined not to allow those said curses to fall upon your children. Okay. So there are a couple of things. First of all, I have a serious issue with people saying things like, oh, if you hold on to your story, it makes it non-believable. It's this, is that. A lot of people have to remember or think about Wendy Williams is an older woman. Okay. So she comes from the era where in our community, a lot of things were swept under the rug. Let's not forget that. I'm an 80s baby, an early 80s baby, and Wally, I'm certain you've seen my number before, so you know who this is that's on your line. Okay. Speaking from personal experiences, things happened to me when I started to be the age of 3, and it continued on until I was like a teenager. I have friends that I've come up with that things happened to them starting when they were little girls, and it happened until they were adults. It's not necessarily that you don't tell your story. There's a psychological thing that happens with you where you think that this is okay and you think it's supposed to happen. So I have a serious problem that when someone finally comes out, whether the person that did whatever to you is deceased or not, people say, oh, it didn't happen to you. Oh, you are to blame. When you are grown, much like Aaliyah had happened to her, or many other industry folk had happened to them in Harley Weird, when you are grown to be brought up that this is the thing, these are the things that are supposed to happen to you, it's not so much as a situation as, oh, well, it's this or it's that. No, that particular young lady grew up in an environment, and she's been around said environment that makes these things okay. Or I come from an era where things were swept up under the rug. So we cannot negate or dismiss the fact that these things actually happen. I think today it's sucky that, you know, we're living in a day and age. We're living in a day and an age where everything is like, oh, well, you know, this is okay. These are the things that are supposed to happen. If you don't come out tomorrow and say, this is what happened to me, then it never happened. We as a community, or not even just our communities, I'm talking about survivors and victims alike, whether you're male or female. Because there are a lot of little boys, grown little boys that are walking around today dealing with the same issue. Like, so I think it sucks that we as a people tend to just be like, oh, what happened to you is not valid. Because eventually what happens is that it transfers over into your family. It transfers over into your family's family. And when I say that, I mean your children, your grandchildren, so on and so forth. You know, I praise you plenty of times to bringing these things to the forefront. Mental health, sexual abuse, physical abuse, all of those things. However, in my opinion, it's just kind of sucky that as a society we've gotten so desensitized that when things like this happen, I don't care if the woman is 12, 22, 42, or 52, when your story comes out, that's your story. And I finally had the strength to tell my story, whether it's Wendy Williams or Wendy from the block. Like that to me, it's a bad look all across the board.
Facts.
Hello?
Yeah, you're right about that. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. It's just a bad look. It's just a bad look. So it kind of, yes. So yes, you said something that was very pertinent before. A lot of your topics are triggering, but triggering is a good thing. It's a very, very, very good thing. However, I think that as a people in general, human beings in general, whether you're in America or in Africa or in Asia or whatever, if it's your story, it's your story. And everybody's story ain't a lie. And everybody's story ain't a clout. Everybody's story ain't, you know, oh, I want something out of this. No, a lot of people just need to heal. So if Wendy wants to tell her story today, whether this person is dead or not, allow her to tell her story. Period. And there shouldn't be a question as to, oh, did this really happen? No one wants to relive that. And that's another thing. When people finally come out and tell their story about the things that happened to them, you're reliving it all over again. We tend to forget she has a grown child out here. She's a public figure. No one is thinking about the fact that her son is living through this with her. No one knows what she's telling her child behind closed doors. Could it be the reason that's why Wendy been sniffing coke all these years? I hope I can say this on your platform.
Go ahead.
Is this the reason why we've seen her have breakdowns over the last 5 years? Because aside from her crappy marriage with her husband, but she's still dealing with the issues that she had as a child, even though this man or this woman, whomever it is now deceased. A lot of times it's because I've never been able to confront the person that violated me. And that's all I have to say on that.
All right. Well, we thank you.
Thank you for always being you.
Thank you.
I love you, and I will continue to support.
Well, thank you so very much.
You're welcome, my love, and I'll check you out.
That's right. Bringing you the best in politics and celebrity gossip. This is the Wiley Show.
Y'all need to listen to that, okay?
Don't stop. Keep it going.
All right. We want to thank everybody for calling in. Do not forget, if you're not on Station Head, you can follow us over there. It is definitely on there. You can. We're gonna go live on Station Head after this live. So if you want to follow us over there right now, you can go live with us and hear us, and we'll be good. Okay. All right. So I will see y'all over there. Thank you so very much. Could everybody get over there on Station Head? Let me know. Let me give a special shout out to all the moderators: Armin Brown 9, Tori Mom, Nurse Nicole, Blue Skies, Puppy Love, B Scales, Mouth Open, Shantae, Day, TOC and 3, D1, and also shout out to Bright Star. Thank you to all the moderators. If this is your first time watching the Wiley Show, make sure you subscribe and like the video. We're doing really good with the likes, so thank you so very much. If you have not clicked on the like, please like. We want to thank everybody for giving us cash apps, donating cash apps to us today. Thank you to everyone that have given us subscribe to everyone for subscribing. And thank you everyone that was giving out super chats. We want to thank you so very much. It is greatly appreciated. All right. Thank you. This was great. Great ending. Thank you to the callers. Yes. Shout out to the new subs. Yes. Thank you. I will see you all on Station Head. Peace.